back to Crazy Princess, and it's me, Saljooq. Today I'm going to be showing you some easy drawing techniques and tips to make your drawing more better. Tip number 1. Know your pencils. Here I added the pencils and pencil shadings. The hardness of the graphite is indicated in the side of the pencil like this. This one's a HB. B pencils are softer, which means they will give you a more darker black of shade. The graphite on the pencil is more softer. Then the H pencils comes. The H pencils are more harder, which means they will give you a more lighter shade, and the graphite's very hard. Then comes the HB. The HB sits in middle of H and B, and it's normally used for writing. In this drawing I have used different shades of black. In this picture you can see the here it's more darker because of the fur that the wolf has. So I tried to recreate it by adding more darker parts here and more lighter parts, because the sun is facing that way and the wolf fur shows like that. So these parts are more like to be darker, so I darkened them, and these parts are more like to be lighter, so I lightened them. If you're a beginner, I recommend you to start with the H pencil, then go trace on it by a B pencil, because the B pencils are more harder to erase. You can also try out these mechanical pen pencils, which has a different type of lid and size, and my one is 0.5. Tip number 2. Try different shading techniques. There are different shading techniques that you can learn, but I'm going to show you some of that I know. These are the 4 blending techniques that I'm going to show you: hatching, cross hatching, stippling, and finger blending. To practice, draw boxes like these, so it's more easier for you to practice. So first I'm going to teach you how to do hatching. So the light is coming from that side, so I'm doing the like more lighter there. So hatching is all about tiny lines around the box. So you just put like tiny lines like that and like that. You need to be thin, so when it's like the light is there, so it's gonna be lighter. Then even each time you go on, it can get darker or it can get lighter like you wish, like that. You just do lines and lines and lines and lines all around the box. So if you see from far away, this looks like you have done blending, but if you look at it very closely, you can see the lines clearly. So just keep on going. So you can see that hatching is done. Now I'm going to show you how to do cross hatching. So cross hatching is also like hatching, but you do lines like these, then you go lines like that side, so it looks like tiny boxes. So you'll do lines like these first. So this one you can do it very lightly or dark if you want to. So I'm just gonna make it go light, like blending them in each time. Then do the other side one. Now I'm doing the other side, so I can turn the box like this and do it like that. So I'm going to show you how to do these 2 techniques one more time. So hatching is all about straight lines that goes and goes and goes and goes and goes and goes. And cross hatching is all about straight lines also, but what's instead, it's the other side too, so it turns to tiny cubes inside the square. So that's how you do these 2. Stippling is all about tiny dots, so you can hold a pencil like this and you can just do tiny dots. So it just goes like that. So you just like round all around the square. And finger blending, you just do a little shade, then you take your finger and blend it. So let me do it more darker. So you just blend it like that, then you just do that to make it all combine together. So make a big pile, and it just gets in like that. So that's about finger blending. And this is how you do all of them. So I'm gonna show you how to do stippling. So for stippling, you do dots like I showed you before. So I'm just gonna do it again and again and again and again and again and again. So you can see that I have done stippling. So now I'm gonna show you how to do finger blending. So stippling looks like that. So I just did the dots and like dots and dots and dots. It takes a lot of patience if you want to do stippling. So if you're not patient, you can't do stippling properly. You just scribble and stuff. So for the next one is finger blending. So let me just show the. So for finger blending, so where the light is facing, do a light finger blend. Where in the middle, you have to do medium, and in the back you have to do very, very dark. So like in the back you have to do like that. Then you can blend it in together. So it's like when you use colors. It's the same as that. When you try to blend colors, you do dark first, then you do a lighter one, then you do a lighter one. Then in the middle, you do a very, very darkish one. So you can see that I have blended it and not blended it in. I have colored it in. So now with your finger, lightly blend it in like that. Your finger, don't worry if your finger gets black. It's alright, you can wash it up afterwards. But when you do finger blending, it can go out of the square box, so don't worry that much. When you draw, it will be a bigger base, so it doesn't go out of the area. So you just blend it in, make it go like softer, and then you get crumbs out of it too. As you can see, I have some dark bit outside. So what you can do, you can take a tiny eraser or big eraser. I'm using a tiny eraser, so I'm just gonna rub it out of the area so it doesn't show up that much. So after you're rubbing, so these are the 4 basic shading tips that I have taught you. So let's go and check on tip number 3. Tip number 3, avoid smudging. So I recently colored this parrot, and I found out that if you don't want to smudge your drawing, you need to use the A4 sheet. So what you need to do, you take an A4 sheet, you cut it to a square. You can even use just tissue paper if you want, and put it on top of your hand. Because when you color a certain part and it touches the bottom part, you can see that it blends it in and makes it come out like you can see here. That because I never used that technique for this, there's the color all over the place. Down here, black, as you can see, the black pencil is blended in. So that's how you do that's how you make sure you don't blend in. Tip number 4, try different drawings. So if you don't try to draw the same thing again and again, if you draw the same thing again and again, you can even get bored of drawing and give up. And the person who are looking at your drawings could even get bored too. So like me, draw different stuff. Like I have drawn Sonic the Hedgehog from the Sonic Hedgehog movie, and Harry Potter from the Harry Potter movie, a tree, and a griffin because I liked imagining creatures when I was a little kid. A cherry because I liked to draw something realistic. These are the 4 drawing techniques that you have to learn for making your drawing more better. And if you want me to draw a beginner drawing in the next video, please comment down below. Don't forget to subscribe, like and share. And also press the bell icon next to the subscribe button so you don't miss any of our upcoming uploads. Bye!